Hello, I'm going to show you how to make a South Indian kind of curry with brinjal, onion and tomato and stuffs. So I'll walk you guys through the ingredients that are required to prepare this dish. Obviously you want brinjal, uh, right? So I did not get brinjal, so I had to use the eggplant, uh, which might be a little different than using brinjal itself. So I am managing with eggplant. So if you happen to get brinjal, please go for brinjal. And it's finely chopped tomato that I am using here, and you require onions. I have taken one onion, two tomatoes, and a fairly sized eggplant. Then I've got a lot of green chilies. Then I've got 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. And what I have here is the hinge or the perungayam LZ, however you want to call it, that I've got here. Then I require some tamarind puree or tamarind syrup. Then I've got some oil here. I would require some oil for sauteing and all that. Obviously I want salt, then some mustard seeds for garnishing. Then I've got some green chili powder and some mild curry powder, Madras curry powder, which is again you might have or you might not have. It's up to you. If you want, you can add it, or if it's not available, that's not a problem. Then I've got some coconut, grated coconut here, which is again which is not readily available. The original coconut is a desiccated coconut, which I am making use of. Then after this, obviously you want the hand wash, which is not an ingredient itself, but to ensure that you're not adding unwanted bacteria or germs into your food. So start with a proper hand wash. So this is something that I have here. And after all these things, I've got one important thing, which is the Kellogg's crunchy nut. I mean, just in case if the entire venture becomes a disaster, so you want something to eat. So obviously, I mean, keep this safe, keep this separately. So this one is something you need, although this is not an ingredient. Again, this is not an ingredient. I'm going to show one more thing which is not an ingredient. This one, obviously I'm not going to put this into the food, just in case. Make sure you know where you find these stuffs in your house. Welcome back. What I'm doing is I've put the kadai and the pan on the hob, and I've greased this pan with some oil, and I've already added 3 to 4 spoons of oil in the kadai for mustard seeds and so on. So in this pan I'll be frying the brinjal, or to be precise, I'll be frying the eggplant, and I'll start off with adding the mustard seeds. Don't worry about what is splattering around. Maybe there is a little bit of water in the pan. So I'm going to add the mustard seeds now, probably 2 to 3 or maybe pinches, I would say. Yeah, I should do. Allow the mustard seeds to splatter once it is totally popped up. Probably what you can do is we can go ahead and add the green chilies and the garlic. I'm just allowing the mustard seeds to splatter. By the way, I mean, when I was showing the ingredients that I was going to add, I did not mention turmeric, which is an integral part of the South Indian cuisine, so I'll be adding turmeric as well. Right, I can see the mustard see it's popping, so it's a correct time to add green chilies and garlic. So I'm going to add them together now. I'll just saute that. Well, this one is on its way to getting cooked. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the eggplant into the other pan, and I will start frying that as well. Allow it to fry, and in the meanwhile I'll add the onions, and I'm going to fry this as well. Right, the onion is turning a little golden now, so probably this is the best time to add tomatoes into this. I'm adding 2 tomatoes, so it becomes more tangy and all that. I like tomatoes anyway. I'm adding 2 tomatoes into it, and let's allow it to fry nicely. And coming back to the brinjal, I mean, a small suggestion here, or a word of caution: whenever you're buying brinjals, ensure that they're not kind of soft. I mean, it should be real hard outside, and that way you can ensure that it does not have any worms or germs inside. So that is a small piece of advice that I can give here. And while this is cooking, only what I'll do is I'm just going to add some turmeric. Say this much turmeric will do probably. Yeah, I'm adding that much turmeric into the kadai, and you can see the color changing immediately. Yeah. I'm going to add some hinge or hing or LG as it's called in India. However you want to call it, you can call it. So I'm just adding some turmeric. Or not turmeric, I'm sorry, it's the hinge, the one baby hinge as they call it here. Right, it gives a lot of flavor to the food, so I'm adding a little generously. So if people do not like hinge, you can probably avoid it, but I would recommend to use hinge. It's very good, and it tastes really good when you're adding hinge. I'm also going to add some the mild Madras curry powder into this mixture now. As you see, I'm not mentioning the quantity that needs to be added. It's up to you. I mean, if you want it a little spicy, you can add more. If you want probably a little mild or soft, probably you can go a little light on that. Yeah, that should do. Let's stir it properly. And it's turning into a proper consistency which I want it to be. So probably we are going in the right direction. Let's focus our camera towards the frying brinjal over here. It's getting properly cooked, so it can be added into the kadai anytime now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this off actually, to be precise. I'm the left one, so I'm putting this off. I'm going to allow it to cook with whatever heat is there on the pan, and then I'll transfer this into this mixture here. I get feeling this is actually getting cooked now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add tamarind puree into this in a little while. Before that, I'm going to add the coconut, the desiccated coconut which I got here. If you have natural coconut, probably you can use it. You can use a grated coconut. Excuse me. Right. And I'm also going to add this brinjal into this. I have transferred all the brinjal into this mixture now, so I'm just mixing it properly, so it's all kind of becomes into a proper mixture, so the flavor gets into the brinjal as well. And now I'm going to add the tamarind puree into this. If you think it's a little too concentrated for you, probably what you can do is you can add a lot of water, normal water than tamarind puree itself. So I'm going to add some water because I get a feeling maybe it might be too tangy for me. So I'm going to add some water into this, normal water, tap water. Right, I have added some tamarind puree and I've added some water which I said I was going to add. And now comes the important part, adding salt. So one small tip, I mean obviously everyone knows this, add salt as less as possible because you can always add salt further on, but if you add more salt initially you cannot remove it. All you can do is you can dilute it, which I'm sure you don't want to do it. So I'm going to add some salt now. I've got this salt here, so I'm going to add this now. Right, I have allowed the curry to cook for some time now, and now is the most important time. You want to test it. I don't know how it might have come now because I've not really tasted it. I'm just taking a right. I'll taste it now. It's a little spicy. Yeah, it is good. It's good actually, yeah. This one is good. There you go. The brinjal South Indian curry, or however you want to name it. I don't mind, you can christen it however you want to. It's ready. I want to have it now. Thank you.